Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you may be in the world today. My name is Biwaki, and thank you for joining me for another episode of Lost Words Beyond the Page playthrough. Now, Lost Words, if you have not played this game before, it is a word-based puzzle platformer where you can literally make use of words to navigate your way through levels. It's pretty cool, it's very original. I have never seen a game like it before. The game was written by Rihanna Pratchett, who is a very well established science fiction writer, or fantasy writer, I should say, in her own right, and is, of course, the spouse to the late Terry Pratchett, the writer of the Discworld fame. So when we left off in our last episode, we went for a character named Grace. She wears a purple dress with a red pendant. She is super smart, she likes books, and she has recently become the guardian of Fireflies after her grandmother has, well, passed the title on to her. It's a very light-hearted game, supposedly with a very wholesome and emotional storyline, wonderful creative use of graphics and pastel colors, and I really can't wait to see how the next chapter of the story will unfold. If you like this content, if you would like to see more of it, click like, click subscribe, click that little bell so I know that this is the kind of content you like, and also so you can be notified when new content becomes available. So that said, that out of the way, let's get started. Lost Words Chapter 2.
Hello, Journal. This time of the year, it gets dark so early.
Must be autumn or winter.
Like the day is just an accident. And the night is how the world really works. Stars and fireflies glowing in the dark.
I absolutely love how when you move the word around, the color changes and you have this beautiful animation of the sun. It is a very creative and very artistic game. Stars and fireflies glowing in the dark. It's so beautiful. It is so beautiful. It is such a beautiful game.
I've never actually seen a firefly. Do you think that matters, Journal?
Those are fireflies.
Glowing things are cool, especially in nature.
It really is a beautiful game. I never get tired of saying it. Nature has all the cool things. Oh, yes it does. Yes it does.
On holiday in Wales, Gran and I would go to the beach and look up at the stars.
That is beautiful. Oh my god, that is absolutely beautiful.
But one night, we looked down instead. The stars were shining in the water.
Oh,
It was like the sky got flipped upside down.
I love how when she said that the world got flipped upside down, so did the screen. So you can still see all the words, and the reflection in the water is now up top. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
We took off our shoes and socks and waded into the water. As we walked over the pebbles,
So you can see how the narrative of the journal matches up with what the game requires me to do. So she says, as we walked over the pebbles, and then actually end up jumping through these little pebbles.
they glowed beneath our toes.
And you see cloud beneath our toes, and you can see the little blue glow.
Gran said it was called bioluminescence.
Bioluminescence. Oh, I need to practice pronouncing that one.
Tiny plankton in the water being moved back and forth by the tide.
My god, this is so beautiful. Honestly, there will be other more traditional platforming sections later in the game, at least there were in the first chapter. I wish they made the entire game like this. Just navigating through your journal, having this text appear, having the voice actor read the lines out, and just these beautiful animations. That is just splendid. That is just splendid. Absolutely splendid.
I knew it was just little creatures, but it felt like magic. I got up very early the next morning.
What a beautiful drawing.
I sneaked into the kitchen, got a jam jar, and went down to the shore to where I'd seen the plankton.
Gran was still asleep. Knock it over. Can I do it like this? Ah. There we go, that works.
That evening, I was so excited. I carefully put the jar on my bedside table.
Greatest night
and
lamp
waited for the night.
ever.
But it didn't glow. I was devastated. I showed Gran the jar. She laughed. Gran always says,
You can't put a cork in nature.
You can't put a cork in nature.
they need sunlight and nutrients from the tide. Gran knows about those things. She used to be a marine biologist.
And I love how relaxing the background music is. Nature is cool and complicated. It absolutely is. It absolutely is great.
Gran bought some special algae that would grow at home. We spent the whole day planning it.
Oh wow, that's a lot of words. So I guess this is how we plan. I mean, I guess corals. Oh.
Lights.
Oh, so you assemble the image piece by piece, or word by word, rather.
Sand. Water.
I have no idea how much this game costs to make, but it is absolutely beautiful.
Glass stones. Company.
Ooh,
Pebbles.
look at that cute little blue thing. Don't know what it is, but it looks absolutely adorable.
We took pictures for Gran's photo album for our future selves to remember. How the tank took ages to fill. How we took turns stirring the algae in. How happy we were when we had it all set. Just needs time to develop, said Gran.
Science!
After 6 days, the algae was ready. I put the tank on my desk and ran my finger through the water.
Until something incredible happened. Let's see what's the incredible thing that happens.
My own bit of magic.
Izzy,
Music stopped.
That was Mum. She just got a call. She has to leave now. It
Oh.
sounded really bad. I have a weird feeling in my stomach.
Honestly, that music transition, just how we went from this really nice, relaxed, chilled, really feel good music, and then just sudden dead silence, and then Mother getting the call, and you hear the knock on the door. Like, I'm playing it now, and I feel this. I kind of feel that heavy sense of foreboding that something is about to go terribly, terribly wrong. And that a game can do this with nothing more than a journal and a couple of words and some excellent voice acting, that's amazing. Well done, the developers. Well done indeed. Note how there's no more sound anymore. There's no more music. Wow. You know something's gonna go wrong.
Something I don't know how to deal with. We just heard that Gran has had a stroke. I don't want to believe it. I can't lose her.
Oh gosh. I genuinely feel for the game character. I genuinely do.
Grace woke from a hazy, distant dream. Something unnatural had stirred her from slumber. What's that noise? Eldoreva?
So now we're gonna over into our fiction world where, well, yeah, the characters who exist in her real world, the grandmother, she's kind of writing a fiction around them. And I guess that's her way of coping with what just happened. Certainly it's nowhere near as cheerful and bright as chapter 1 was. I mean, you can see these red colors, the heavy music. Feels like the village is on fire. Something unnatural had stirred her from the slumber.
Grace! A giant creature is attacking our village.
Attacking? I thought the Fireflies protected us.
There must be something wrong. Get to the tree at once. Hurry!
Right, let's get to the tree.
What creature could have caused this? And suddenly, Grace was surrounded by smoke and cinders. As she hurried past the crackling rooftops, her concern grew.
Hey, Grace, you gotta hide.
You can hide with us.
Broken. The lift.
No, there's no space. Okay, find your own hiding spot then.
Well, seems like everyone's running for their lives. Well, we have our magic word here.
She looked at her burning treetop village. This was all she knew. This was home. She needed to get to the Fireflies. She needed to keep everyone safe.
That was the same elevator ride we took before the village was burned to the ground. Back in chapter 1. This does not look good.
Please, Grace, help me out. I'm trapped under this thing.
It's okay. We've got our magic word.
Thank you, thank you. Never thought I'd be so glad to see my feet again.
No, no, no. I need to get to the Firefly tree. The bridge was beyond repair.
And then we can use the rise word. Oh yes, I think we can use the word repair later on. We'll see.
Okay.
It looks like the repair spell puts the missing pieces back together when we run, which is again pretty cool. Certainly makes the world look a lot more reactive, and really shows just this sheer amount of detail that the developers put into the game. Again, well done to the dev team. You know, this game reminds me a little bit of that movie called Pan's Labyrinth. The one about a little girl who just could not deal, understandably so, with the horrors of the Spanish Civil War. And she kind of retreated in her mind to a place of fiction, to a place of her own, as a coping mechanism.
A terrifying noise echoed from beyond the village gate. Grace rushed out to meet it. Soon she would prove herself as the new village guardian. I can do this. Right, Firefly? Right?
I want to be making jokes about it. I want to be making my usual snide commentary. But I really don't feel like it. I think that would be doing the game a grave disservice. They have clearly put a lot of effort to create the right kind of mood and ambience, and I do not think I should be ruining it.
But she could not deny the creeping terror. The earth yawned below her. Phew. Made it. That was scary. This tree did not comfort her.
The ground's shaking.
It was as scared as she was. With nobody around to extinguish them, fires burned out of control.
Well, that gives us a new magic word.
Some words will stay with you, others are fleeting.
And we hear the grandmother's voice.
A strange blaze crackled ahead. Is that fire? I've never seen a flame like that before. The sacred bell lay silent on the ground.
That was the same bell that we rang to announce our presence at the end of chapter 1. It really sounds sad now. It was sounded very, very joyful at the end of chapter 1. It certainly does not sound that way now.
Nearly there.
Bit of a funeral bell, honestly.
Oh no. No, no, no. Where are the other fireflies? Fireflies? Please be here. Please be here. Soon, the dreadful realization dawned on Grace. The fireflies were gone. A new determination rose in her. She would find
What would we look for? Do we want revenge? Do we want knowledge? Or do we want the Fireflies? Well, revenge seems a little bit out of tune with the setting of the game and the premise. Fireflies could be an option, but knowing that Grace is an avid reader, she likes knowledge, she likes studying, she likes reading, I think knowledge is the way to go here. So a new determination rose in her. She would find knowledge.
Knowledge. Elder Ava! Something took the Fireflies.
I know. Our people will fall sick without them.
There has to be a reason why this happened. I'll find out.
Knowing what happens to the grandmother afterwards, that makes this hug right there all the more heartrending.
I'll be back with answers. I promise.
Go, and may the love of this village guide you. Always.
Grace took a deep breath. She knew what she had to do. She would find answers, one way or another.
This really is a coming of age story, isn't it? A story of learning to cope with loss and grief, and really what it means to be an adult.
Earth could fall away beneath her, but she would not be stopped. This was further than she'd ever been before, and yet it was exhilarating, wondrous, and terrifying. Fear was at her side, and hope in her heart. But things were about to get worse. Much, much worse. Is that a dragon? It's
Wow, look at that.
But Grace would not slow down. Not for crumbling paths. Not for giant monsters. She would get the Fireflies back, no matter what. She would catch the dragon. No, wait! She raced forward and leapt. Hello, Journal. We went to see friends.
Ladies and gentlemen, and that is it. We're gonna cut here. That is the end of part 2 of this playthrough. Join me next time for episode 3 when we proceed to look for, and I don't know if we're gonna hunt the dragon. It doesn't look like the kind of game where there would be a lot of killing, but we'll definitely go and try to get some answers. What happened to the Fireflies? Why is the village in the state that it is? Is our grandma going to be okay? So, see you all later, and don't forget, click like, follow, subscribe, hit that little bell so you can be notified when my next video is uploaded. Should be tomorrow, maybe even today. I'm really having a great time with this game, and I look forward to finishing it. Until then, stay cool, stay wacky.